Soft cafe ambiance, light chatter in the background. The camera pans to an older man sitting alone, stirring his coffee absent-mindedly. He thought she was just being polite. Every morning she greeted him with that same smile, the kind that lingered just a moment too long. But he told himself, she's just doing her job. Until one day, she said something that changed everything. Cut to close-up, she leans over the counter, playful glimmer in her eyes. Woman, smiling. You always come here alone. Don't you ever get tired of your own company? That was the moment he realized. Maybe she wasn't just being polite. Maybe she was interested. You see, most men think women's politeness means nothing. But here's the truth. Women rarely waste energy on men they aren't curious about. In this story, I'll show you how to spot the difference between simple kindness and quiet attraction. Because sometimes what looks like courtesy is actually her way of saying, I see you. And if you want to understand women on a level most men never reach, make sure to subscribe right now. There's a hidden language women speak, a language of glances, tone shifts, and subtle gestures. Older men often miss it. They've been taught to believe that after a certain age, attraction fades, that women only see them as friendly, mature, or safe. But what if I told you that some of the strongest forms of attraction aren't loud or obvious at all? They're quiet. Soft, hidden beneath the surface of what looks like politeness. That's what happened to David. He wasn't the kind of man who stood out in a crowd. No fancy suit, no loud charm, just presence. Calm, confident, and unaware of how much that presence actually mattered. He met her by chance. Same cafe, same routine. A young woman named Emma worked the counter. She'd always greet him with a smile that made his mornings a little brighter. But David told himself, she's just being polite. Until one day, something shifted. Camera focuses on the cafe again. Sunlight spills through the window. Emma wipes the counter, then looks up. Emma, you're late today. David, chuckling. You noticed? Emma, smiling. Of course I did. You're my favorite customer. He laughed it off, pretending it was nothing. But the truth is, it stayed with him all day. That sentence replayed in his mind like a song on repeat. You're my favorite customer. Was she just being nice? Or was there something else in her tone? A softness, a spark. The next morning, she remembered his order without asking. Black coffee, no sugar. And when their hands brushed as he took the cup, she didn't pull away immediately. David felt something, a warmth he hadn't felt in years. But then that inner voice kicked in, the one that had whispered to him ever since his divorce. Don't be foolish. She's younger. She's just being polite. So he smiled, nodded, and left. What he didn't see was Emma watching him leave, her eyes lingering on him longer than they should have. See, women often express attraction through comfort. They don't always say they like you. They create space for connection. They lean in, maintain eye contact, ask personal questions. And that's what Emma started doing. One day she asked, "So, what do you do when you're not here?" David told her about his small business, how he used to travel for work, how he'd lost touch with the excitement of life after his divorce. She listened, really listened. Her eyes stayed on his, soft, attentive. Then she said something he didn't expect. "Emma, you must have some incredible stories." That was the first real spark. The first time he realized she was genuinely curious about him. Not his job, not his coffee order, him. What David didn't understand yet was that Emma was sending clear signals. Let's break down what was really happening. 1. Eye contact that lasts too long. When Emma looked at David, her gaze didn't dart away quickly. She held it, just enough to make him wonder. 2. Personal curiosity. She started asking questions about his weekends, his hobbies, even his past. Women don't ask about your personal life unless they're interested. 3. Gentle teasing. Her playful tone, the way she teased him about coming alone, wasn't mockery. It was flirtation disguised as humor. 4. Physical proximity. She began finding reasons to stand a little closer, to brush his hand when giving him change. These accidents were anything but accidental. 5. Emotional investment. When she started to notice his moods, asking, "Rough day," that was the giveaway. You don't care about someone's day unless they've started to matter to you. And yet, like many men, David dismissed it all as friendliness. Until one evening, everything became clear. Cafe nearly empty. The air is quiet, the light dimming through the windows. Emma, nervously, "I'm closing early today. Want to grab a drink nearby?" David, stunned, "You mean with me?" Emma, grinning, "No, with your coffee mug." She laughed softly. "Yes, with you." That night, David realized how wrong he'd been. Every smile, every conversation, none of it was politeness. It was connection waiting for permission to grow. Here's the truth. Women rarely make the first move, but they do send signals. And if you're too caught up in self-doubt, you'll miss them. When a woman smiles, teases, or lingers, it's often because she wants to see if you will notice. She's not asking you to be aggressive. She's asking you to be present. When David finally saw the truth, he stopped brushing off compliments. He started holding eye contact, smiling back, responding with warmth. And everything changed, because when a woman feels seen, she opens up. And when an older man brings calm confidence instead of self-doubt, she doesn't see age. She sees security. She sees strength. She sees you. So the next time she's polite, don't dismiss it. Watch the details. Does she linger in conversation? Does she notice your mood? Does her laughter sound softer when it's just for you? Those aren't random. Those are quiet invitations. Older men often underestimate their appeal, but women see things differently. They're drawn to presence, wisdom, and authenticity, the kind of traits only time can create. So don't hide behind politeness. Meet her energy. Match her curiosity. Let her see that you notice her too. Because the difference between she's just being polite and she's interested is whether or not you believe you deserve her attention. And trust me, if she's making the effort, you do. If this story made you rethink how women show attraction, don't leave without subscribing. Every week we break down the real psychology behind connection, attraction, and confidence, helping men understand what women truly mean when they act polite. Drop your thoughts below. Has a woman ever seemed just friendly, but later you realized it was something more? I'd love to hear your story. Remember, confidence doesn't come from chasing. It comes from awareness. Stay confident, stay grounded, and never mistake her kindness for indifference, because sometimes her smile means everything she's too shy to say.